RNC co-chair Laura Trump says that the campaign raised $70 million in the 48 hours following the conviction. This comes ahead of a fundraiser being thrown later this week by billionaires David Sachs and Chamath Palihapitiya in Silicon Valley. Joining us now is Jake Sherman, the co-founder of Punchbowl News. He's also an MSNBC and NBC political contributor. Trying to so many different facets to cover with you, Jake. One of them I was trying to cover, and we had Alan Patrikoff on, and I challenged him. That was last week. He had a very cynical view of why Silicon Valley individuals might be returning to Trump. He just said they're thinking of their own pocketbook, and I go, I don't know. If you got $3 billion, you're really worried about $3.2 billion? I think they might have more high-minded reasons or something less tawdry than just money. Why do you think that you're seeing? Is it maybe it's Lena Khan? Is it the what do you think it is?
I wish I had the problem to wonder if 3 billion versus 3.2 billion, that would be a nice problem to have, but I don't have that. I mean, listen, I think a few things. I think number one, it is regulation. To be honest with you, I think a lot of people I talk to see Trump as way more open to views on curbing regulation for all sorts of industries. I think that's number one. And I think number two, to be honest with you, I think the rich people who are rich vote Republican. I don't think it's any more complicated than that. But I'll say this, Joe, I don't think there's going to be, I mean, I agree that Republicans had a huge boon from the verdict, including down ballot too. I don't think there's going to be a lack of money in this race on either side. I think there's going to
We lost you there.
Hold on a second.
At the end.
Hey, Jake, I don't know if Jake can still.
We're not trying to. We're not trying to censor you, but I'd take issue with that. I mean, let me know if we get Jake back. But you've heard caviar communist, limousine liberal, Learjet liberal. I think there's many, many, many rich people, Jake, that don't have to worry anymore about taxes. Don't have to worry about making theirs, and they're all. You know, they don't vote Republican. You with us again, Jay?
I'm here, yes. You hear me?
Yeah, I mean, I would say almost the opposite recently. And you can't virtue signal nearly as well as when you get rich, when you're liberal. You don't even have to care about the policies. You just want to get invited to the right cocktail parties in New York City, and you can't be Republican. Just look around New York City. All the rich people are liberals, Jake.
Yeah, I think the regulation piece is an important part of it, to be honest with you.
I agree.
And Republicans for a long time have been making inroads in Silicon Valley, dating back to Kevin McCarthy, who really opened that door about 10 or 15 years ago when I first started covering Congress. So I think it's probably an outgrowth of that. And I think that, listen, I think Trump had all sorts of counsels with business people who, he listened to their views. So I think that's probably part of it as well.
When do we get, I'm watching the RCP betting composites, and it's close. Trump's ahead. I watched the predicted 2024 betting. It flipped initially early on, but it's been back in Trump with Trump up 2 or 3 percentage points. When do we get the gold standard poll that you would watch to see what the effect of the verdict of the 34 felony counts? When do you think we see the one thing we can actually say, all right, I'm banking on this being the real effect of what happened?
I would say the next 10 days, because I know people are in the field right now, but I'll make a controversial point here, which is I think all polls are pretty terrible right now. And I think especially national polling, Joe, means absolutely nothing. This race is going to be decided on the margins in 2 or 3 states, right? Michigan, Wisconsin, and Pennsylvania. And the real problem, I mean, we all know what Biden's shortcomings are and what his risks are as a candidate. But I think for Trump, the real risk is that there are still 20% of voters in a bunch of primary states who are casting ballots for Nikki Haley. And I don't know, I don't know one way or the other, whether they're going to come around and show up for Trump. But if this is a low turnout election in which those voters do not turn out, it's going to be tough for Trump to win. And I think, listen, I'll make one more point here. I don't think that I understand that they raised a bunch of money from Trump from the conviction. I do not think that being a felony is being convicted of a felony is a good thing, no matter how you spin it. I don't. I think that there are low information voters who are just tuning in now who are seeing for the first time that Trump's been convicted of felonies, and that's not necessarily a good thing in my estimation.
I think you're right. If you have no idea what's going on,
correct,
you might think that.
And remember, Joe, that's a huge
you might get totally motivated if you do look closely at what happened, because he's the only individual in the world where that case would have been brought against it. Did you read I mean, John Edwards, remember what happened to him? He actually used campaign funds to pay off a woman to not pay. He didn't use, in this case, it was personal funds that were misclassified. I mean, you know how arcane and the pretzel logic, to quote Steely Dan, that needed to be used to get to a felony on this for minor offenses where the statute of limitations had already run out. So if you know anything about what happened, you don't like this, because nobody's above the law, but no one should be below the law. And that's what happened here. And we know exactly why Alvin Bragg was elected, and that was to get Trump. And I saw George Stephanopoulos. Did you see that? I mean, it's amazing what, how we all involve ourselves.
But Joe, remember that most voters are not you and me, and following this very closely. And I don't know that the nuances of the argument are going to be made. I know.
I see it. I see it on Twitter. 34 counts guilty on all 34 when they were ledger entries and individual checks, and it's all the same. It's one felony count, and it's stretched beyond belief to get to that. But maybe you're right. Maybe you're right. No one ever went broke, right, Jake? Underestimating.
That's right.